Hello again and welcome to Union Insider, Summer of Soccer Edition. Along with Dave Leno, I'm Sage Hurley.
Great to be back with you, Sage. Also wonderful that we have a second win by the U.S. men's national team to talk about after a convincing, thumping victory over Australia.
A lot of talk going into this one. Australia had a big chip on their shoulder, but from the opening whistle, Mauricio Pochettino's team looked stronger. It wound up a 2-0 win for the boys in red, white, and blue, who set the tone once again with another early own goal, born from some electric link-up play, and then one of the stories of the tournament, Alex Freeman, son of NFL great Antonio Freeman, following up off a set piece to head in the second goal, and a World Cup clean sheet for Matt Freese.
Media native Austin Trusty also got his first taste of World Cup action, a really cool moment between the two Delco boys at the end of the game as well. By virtue of the win, the U.S. men not only qualify for the knockout stages, but also will top the group no matter what, which will mean something when it comes to decide who their opponent will be in the next round of the tournament.
Joining us to talk more about this fantastic result over the Socceroos, I do love that nickname, is Sheanon Williams. Sheanon, 2 goals and a shutout for Matt Freese. If you're a fan of the U.S. men's national team, you have to be pretty happy right now.
Yeah, it's another complete performance by this U.S. men's national team. You saw the likes of Tillman and Balogun start to really play well again, and that's what you want to see as you go through the tournament, really picking it up as you go game to game.
Sheanon, we saw Australia play a lot in the 5-4-1. At times when I was watching back the game, I was putting out 8, 9 yellow jerseys where the U.S. would have to pass and dribble. And what did you make of the passing in the final third and being patient in possession?
I think I have to give a lot of credit to Pochettino and his system. They've played against a lot of low block, especially in the first 2 games, and they've done really well exposing different areas of the low block, especially in the wide areas. They've been really good out wide with Dest, and also Freeman, I thought, had a breakout game last game with the goal and just his overall play in the game. So I think he's done a really good job of making sure that they have the freedom to rotate and move around to really break down some of these low blocks.
You mentioned Alex Freeman. He became the 6th youngest player to score for the U.S. men's national team. What do you make of his start? It's been really impressive from him so far.
Yeah, what a moment for the young man, and just the rise to even get on the roster and then to start, then to score your first goal. You're seeing a star in the making and somebody that's really taken this opportunity and trying to make the full extent of it. So he's doing a great job. His play in the first 2 games has been phenomenal. I look for that to continue.
As a former defender, I have to ask you about the high line of confrontation, because in this game, Australia likes to play on the counterattack, right? In the 5-4-1, they look for Torrey to make those runs in behind. But when the U.S. plays some stronger teams that can have some forwards or wingers that can fly with pace, how do you feel like guys like Ream, Richards, Freeman, and others will handle guys that maybe will give a little bit more on the counter?
Yeah, I still think they're going to be aggressive in the press. They're at home. You want to be on the front foot, and they're played against some teams playing in a lower block, which meant that they've played a little bit higher up the field. I think as you get on into the tournament, tired legs, better opponents, you're going to have to start to sit back a little bit, make sure that the space is really compact and limit other teams' space. They probably won't have the ball as much as we get into the later stages, depending on who they play and their style of play. So they just need to do a good job of adapting each game.
No Christian Pulisic in this one. Ricardo Pepi coming into the team in a 2-striker system. Seems like the team had a solid plan B. How important is it for the team to have that option?
Yeah, it's really important that they get Ricardo Pepi going. He's somebody that they can rely on if they have to make changes. He can also play anywhere across that front line. So if they can get him going, get him on the score sheet, it'll be great for his confidence.
Let's take the granular view of this right now, what's going on with the U.S., right? So 2 own goals in 2 straight games. That's never happened to the men's World Cup side. And then you start out with the U.S. winning their first 2 games for the first time really since 1930. Just magical stuff here by the U.S. men's national team. The start that Pochettino's had to invigorate this group, what does it say about what he's done since he took the job to this point?
Yeah, I know there's been a lot of naysayers about Pochettino when he took the job. A lot of people were unsure that he was the right person for this job. I know going into the World Cup a couple of weeks before, there was a lot of noise if he was taking interviews at other places before the World Cup. Is he focused? I think he's done a really good job of setting the tone for this team and bringing a culture that they can use not only for the time that he's here, but even beyond that. And I think he's laid such a good foundation. From manager to manager, especially for the national teams, you just want to leave it in a better spot that you found it, and he's definitely done that.
It was really cool to see Austin Trusty acknowledge the Delco connection with him and Freeze playing in the same game. We also saw him waving to his family in the crowd after the final whistle. That's what the World Cup is all about. Stories like that, right?
That was an awesome story. Him to just acknowledge that it's been such a long time coming for the two, and getting to share the field is such a big moment, something that I'm sure he's always dreamed about, and you do it with somebody that you've played alongside for so long. It's a cool moment.
I think, and also another guy that flies under the radar that played actually in MLS with the New York Red Bulls is Tyler Adams. How he connects the back line and then forward to the guys in the attacking third. What does he mean to the U.S. and that engine in the middle? And it seemed the flexibility tactically, he has freedom to drift all over the place. And in particular, I saw a lot of overloads on the right-hand side with Dest and McKinney in the prior matchup.
Yeah, and we talked about the criticism of Pochettino and that he might not have taken enough midfielders. And you see it from Tyler Adams, how important he is and how much faith Pochettino has in him to really just have him sit in that midfield, be the screen to be that back line, and give the freedom to players like Weston McKennie and Tillman to get further up the field, knowing that they're going to be secure in the back.
All right, so we're heading to break with this week's trivia question presented by United Concordia. Which former Union player scored in qualifying matches for 2 different FIFA World Cups for Bosnia and Herzegovina? The answer comes up later in the show. Union Insider Summer of Soccer edition is back after this.
Back with a look at the soccer celebration for last Friday's U.S. men's national team win over Australia. Big crowd on hand for this one down at Union Yards. Next one is this Thursday, June 25th. Come on down and watch the U.S. men take on Turkey. A little World Cup after dark. Back here on set with Dave and Sheanon, we're going to turn the page and talk about what's next to come for the U.S. men's national team. Sheanon, this is the last group stage game. It's largely ceremonial for the U.S. squad. Is this one of the hardest jobs a manager has, balancing keeping the team healthy for the knockouts and keeping that momentum going?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is the momentum. I think if they have a stumbling block, that can definitely take a hit on their World Cup run. I don't think it's devastating, but I think they want to go in with 3 wins, really flying high, and then start to focus on what's next.
A huge storyline, guys, right now is what will the U.S. manager Pochettino do in this game? Will he do a full rotation? Will he sit out some guys? You rest some guys that are on yellow card, even though yellow cards don't carry over to the knockout stage. Pulisic's another storyline as well. How would you handle the injury and rotation, Shane, for a matchup against Turkey, who's already eliminated?
Yeah, for me, I think anybody that has any type of injuries, any type of nicks, I want to give them the rest that they deserve. And it has to be a case-by-case basis, looking at players. Do they need the sharpness of the match and getting that little bit of fitness that you would get in the game, knowing that you have the rest and recovery afterwards? Or are you just one of those players like I think Pulisic is not going to play on Thursday? I think that's one that you don't even take the risk on. It's going to be a risk-reward on Thursday, and we'll see which players he decides to go with.
Turkey has been one of the more disappointing teams of this tournament, despite having some individual talent. What exactly went wrong for them?
Just too much talk. I think they did all their talking before the World Cup about how good they were, and they've now gotten into it, and the moment's been too big for them. I think when you're going into a World Cup, let your play do the talking, and I think Turkey has done it a little bit off the field, and that's led to some bad moments on the field.
Yeah, Arda Güler is not coming to form like he does for Real Madrid. Kenan Yildiz, who had 3 goals in qualifying, hasn't been the player that he possesses for his Juve team. Also, you take a look at this Turkey team, 62 shots, no goals to speak for in the World Cup. To me, when I look at them tactically, ton of crosses, a lot of shots from distance. Do you expect kind of the same? Again, they're already eliminated, not going into the knockout stage.
Yeah, I'm just going to assume that they have a lot of pride playing for their country and that they're going to come out and give it their best shot, give their fans something to cheer about. I think it would be a good positive for them to beat the U.S. at home on the U.S.'s soil. That is a positive way to end your World Cup, even though it's been disappointing. You talked about the 0 goals. Obviously, you want to get something from the World Cup so that it's not feeling like this massive disaster, and I think that's what it's felt like so far for Turkey.
Sheanon, what do you want to see most from this U.S. team in their final group stage match?
I want to see them finish this out. I want to see them get another 3 points, really build the momentum, not only on the field, but also in the country. I think you're seeing it from game to game. They're having these really good games, and you're seeing more and more people really start to catch on. I think with a 3rd win in the group stage game, it'll really get people going.
As a soccer enjoyer and a former player, seeing all the crowds rally around this U.S. men's national team, how special is it for the sport, but also the country, to be able to support a team that's playing so well in the World Cup?
I think it's huge, and I think that that's what makes the sport so great, is getting to support your country. I was at France-Iraq last night and saw so many people from Iraq and France, and I think that's really cool. And I think with the U.S.'s standpoint and them having the home games, I think it's just been a really special moment for U.S. soccer fans.
By virtue of finishing top of the group, the U.S. will play a third-place team from one of 5 different groups. We won't know who until the group stage is complete, but how huge is it not to be up against any top of the group teams?
Yeah, you want to stay away from those teams until the latter stages of the tournament, and they're doing a good job to position themselves. Obviously, they won the group, and that keeps you away. Playing a third-place team is obviously going to be more helpful going into those later stages. Obviously, they're going to come up against some tough opponents, but that's the World Cup for you, and you're going to have to get some luck. You're going to have some things go your way, and I think right now the ball is rolling in their way.
What do you think needs to go in the U.S.'s way to be able to continue on this journey?
Just to stay healthy. I think right now you're seeing little nicks and injuries, and you definitely want to get those players right, especially the important ones to the U.S., like Pulisic, for instance. And then from there, really just use that momentum, use that crowd energy to really get yourself going.
Time to open things up to the rest of the teams playing in the tournament with our Subaru key games. Sheanon, you're up first. Which game later this week are you most excited for?
I'm looking forward to the France-Norway game. I think that's going to be the battle for first place. I watched France play the other day, and those two center backs in Saliba and Upamecano are so big, so fast, so tough to deal with. And they're going to go up against Erling Haaland, and that matchup we've seen in the EPL so many times now. And that, I think, is going to be an interesting matchup.
We all love to see the international soccer, but I also like to see the international celebrations. That Norway row is something else.
They were out there just working on it.
Dave, which matchup are you most jazzed for?
That's one of my favorite things I've seen, along with the orange bus of the Netherlands. And speaking of Group F, I'm going to circle on Japan-Sweden here, because I feel it's going to be a battle for second place here behind the Netherlands. And whoever's going to finish second is going to face the winner of Group C, which likely will be either Brazil or Morocco. Now, keep in mind, Japan has never qualified for the World Cup up until France in 1998. And has qualified for the last 8 editions. They have been terrific in the attack. Kubo in particular in the middle, I think he's going to be big. They have a ton of possession, good play around the final third. And the question in this matchup is Sweden at times is susceptible to allowing some goals in the back. There's been some topsy-turvy moments I've seen on film. And for a Swedish team who has gone far a couple of editions ago, there's a lot of question marks here. They won 5-1 over Tunisia. They got smacked 5-1 against the Netherlands. It's going to be a big result with the Netherlands on top of that group, and I'm really excited for the matchup between Japan and Sweden.
And why they were standing guard in front of the Rocky statue, like Sheanon mentioned. That and more when Union Insider returns. Back with our Summer of Soccer update presented by Torque. Last week, it was quite the scene outside of the art museum, with Brazilian fans taking over the steps, seemingly by the thousands. They also stood guard in front of the statue, as teams who have draped their kits and jerseys over the beloved Philly icon have had a terrible track record in those following games. Brazil fans got that memo. Moving on, World Cups are always filled with feel-good stories, and one that hits close to home is Haiti and Danley Jean-Jacques, who became the first active Union player to participate in a World Cup in their group stage opener. Danley's arrival, along with his country on the world stage, is a huge moment, not just for them, but for those who have called Haiti home.
Is it to be the night that Haiti end an over 50-year wait for a return to the FIFA World Cup?
Dernier match Nicaragua, j'étais vraiment stressé parce qu'il me bat sous terrain, so l'on passe sous terrain, on l'autre pression.
To us, Haiti are on the prowl here. Lovely give and go on the edge of the area. It can open up for the shot, and there's the goal. There is the goal. It's a goal that, for the moment, puts them on top of the group.
Et qu'on équipe me te bail tout meilleur de eux même pour te rendre moins fier côté me regarder match là. So, on dit merci parce que il était fait job là pour nous.
And that is it, full time. Haiti have done their part. They've won it by 2-0, and they wait and hope that it stays the way it stays in Costa Rica. It is not over yet.
Les ma regarde vidéo, ça sonne vraiment senti bien pour moi. Tout le travail que nous t'ai fait, so nous pas de faire en vain.
And after 51 long years, Haiti are going back to the World Cup.
Seeing that team actually carried out and doing what they did on that field in that moment was extraordinary.
C'était toute une nation qui était derrière nous, surtout de mettre tout pour nous pour nous réaliser rêve là.
Finding out they were playing in Philly, first thing I did was call a couple of my Haitian friends and my brother.
Ouais, moi j'ai joué un match dans la ville côté moi joué en club devant tout supporter Philadelphia Union qui pourrait le supporter. Ça fait un plaisir de représenter Philadelphia aussi dans une Coupe du Monde.
Growing up in Haiti, I want to say was extraordinary. It was my childhood.
C'est là que je grandis, c'est là que je levé, c'est là que j'ai toutes amis, toute famille.
Families over there, we had a big sense of community. I spent, like I said, 17 years of my life over there.
Quand j'ai grandi là-bas, à Haïti, c'était facile.
Over back home, believe it or not, soccer was everywhere. There's a huge soccer community in Haiti, and growing up around that, that's what makes you fall in love with it, right?
Growing up in Haiti, like playing soccer was the only joy that I have, you know, for me to do. We opened this place in October 2022. The idea was really to not only to serve the Haitian community, but to actually serve the community that we are in right now.
Adjusting was tough. To be serious, it was pretty tough. Once the environment, everything came together, got glued together, family came in and helped me out, friends came in and helped me out, and even, believe it or not, soccer came in and helped me out. Finding Street FC, I had to go out of my way in a way to come here and explore and actually get to the soccer community. It's a universal language. People live and die by this sport. Because of that exposure, it's not there 24/7. Once it is there, you just kind of feel that comfort again, that environment again, and you feel just like home.
My name is Prince Praje Oscar. I was born in Haiti, came to the US when I was 13, attended Massart in Boston, lived in New York for a while, then I moved to Philly and I've been here in Philly since. I am a creative director, owner and creative director of this fashion brand, also creative director at Philly Fashion Week, and also I'm a professor in Drexel, Jefferson, Whatcom College. My culture and every day, my household have Haitian spices and Haitian teas and so on and so forth. So I think that influences not just my life, but my work as an artist have been purely Haitian. When I was reached by around 21, Jasmine, and she said, I'm like, of course I want to do this.
Having been around sports, I recognized in my perspective that the people are the brand. The fans in the stands, the athletes, they're the ones who are creating this environment, and Round 21 exists to provide a new platform for them to express who they are beyond the game. One of the first MLS partnerships we ever had was with the Philadelphia Union. In an organic conversation around World Cup, we learned that one of the players might be called up by the national team, and it happened to be Haiti, it happened to be Danley. And
I think it was an opportunity to not just connect with the Haitian community here in Philadelphia, but also to connect with the soccer community here in Philadelphia with, a collaboration with the union. Soccer is embedded in our making as Haitians, so it was a great collaboration to be part of, merging these two worlds of coming together with me in the middle.
The process for this Philadelphia Union Haiti cultural release is unlike no other Round 21 has ever had.
I had a meeting with Danny where he told me the things he liked and the things he didn't like, and where we wanted to go with the collaboration in terms of our artistic direction. But I really wanted to show a little bit of what Haiti is, and also my version of Philadelphia. We designed quite a few different things, and then we designed and coming to a design that we felt that was marketable for an audience that is both soccer focused and that wants to support our friends of Haiti.
The first thing that was most important is that true core connection to Haiti. Equally, that there needed to be a true core connection to Philadelphia. We then had this powerful global phenomenon of the World Cup, so we needed someone with global experience and expertise and stature, and Project Oscar represents all of that.
The moment Haiti was qualified for the World Cup, I was like, well, I'm gonna need clothes to wear because I'm going to that game. People will get to see Haitians, to see the things that makes us special.
And I think my Haitian community, the Haitian population, is definitely going to travel to just not even be at the stadium, but just to come here and feel the vibes and watch this game together. So I think it's going to be huge, and I'm excited for it.
Maintenant, c'est à nous, travail.
Haiti have not been in the World Cup since 1974. How did we live all these years? Well, we lived them through Brazil and Argentina.
And we're playing Brazil, which is even funnier, so we'll see how that goes.
We have the opportunity to represent Haiti in the biggest stage. So now I think that soccer is going to take his place back. Not actually in the community, back home in Haiti, for sure.
Philadelphia is not ready for what's about to happen because it is a double sword. The Haitians and the Brazilians all going to take the street, and I'm telling you, it doesn't matter who wins this game.
The partying in Haiti is, everyone knows that, especially tropical islands like that. I think the environment in there, especially in that stadium, but in Philadelphia in general, is going to be pretty phenomenal, and I can't wait to experience it.
J'espère tout supporter Philadelphia ou de nous, de Haïti, ba nous force, ba me force, et m'bal faire fierté ou tout.
One more hydration break to sneak in. We'll put a bow on this one with our final whistle conversation next. You're watching Union Insider Summer of Soccer Edition, presented by Independence Blue Cross.
We're back with the answer to this week's trivia question presented by United Concordia. Earlier we asked, which former Union player scored in the qualifying matches for 2 different FIFA World Cups for Bosnia and Herzegovina? The answer, Haris Medunjanin, who scored in both the 2014 and 2018 World Cup qualifying runs. That brings us to this week's final whistle discussion presented by Allstate. This week's topic, who has been the best player for the U.S. men's national team at this World Cup so far? What do you think, Sheanon?
For me, it has to be Flo Balogun. I think the 2 goals in the first game, setting up that first goal against Australia, he's in really good form, and I think that'll continue. And if it continues for the U.S. team, we're going to see a deep run.
Who's your choice, Dave?
I'm going with the guy right underneath him, and that's Weston McKennie. The freedom that he has to create overloads on the right, but also drift centrally right underneath Balogun, Ricardo Pepi, to link up with Tyler Adams behind him. I like the quick 1-2 combinations I see from Weston McKennie, and also can be the recipient of set pieces swung in by Tillman as well. I think McKennie is going to be a talisman in the attack and will help the U.S., I hope, at least go to a quarterfinal and maybe a semifinal at this World Cup.
One last question for you both. Do you think we see Christian Pulisic on the field this week, or do they keep him on ice?
I think they're going to keep him on ice. I think they have to. If they want to use him and use him at the full capacity later on in the tournament, they're going to have to rest him in this game.
What do you think, Dave?
Rest him, get ready for the knockout stage.
That's all we have time for this week. My thanks to Sheanon and Dave, and to you for hanging out with us here on Union Insider. We'll be back next week to talk more World Cup drama. See you then.